You are connected as the host.
Mic check, mic check. Happy Tuesday, y'all. Way better, Cloud Bops. Thanks for asking. Much better. Sorry for even mentioning it at all. Fantastic. Okay, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream nice and early. A pleasure to have you here. I'm the American Anchor Baby. We got a couple things to get into. Something quite interesting, actually. Little turn back the dial here, back in time to 2014, just for a moment. Just for a little moment. So it should be a nice relaxed show. We got some things to get into. Going back in time, 2014. Maybe gather a little bit. What happened with men, women, and the country? It all comes together. The gamers will help us understand some of this. They will. So what can I say? A pleasure to have you here. We will be taking calls and all that. 844-900-2229 as we do. We're welcoming our Rumble viewers and everybody. Of course, Punchy.tv. In fact, we're about to welcome everybody here in a moment. But since it's Tuesday in the daytime, we're having a nice day here. And you're here all sitting nice in your seats. Please. How about we start the show?
Isn't Nick a Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby. You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still running with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room,
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border, and then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on American soil. So he became the anchor baby. They don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, I'm the American Anchor Baby. We got a bit of a show to get into here, folks. I appreciate you tuning in. We're going to welcome everybody in a moment, but hey, folks, let me know. Looks like we're going through a bit of turbulence, a little bit of a hiccup. A little turbulence. A little bit of a bandwidth turbulence, something. Just a little bit of turbulence. Are we back, folks? I think we're okay. Let's go down to a lower altitude. We're flying down to a lower altitude. All right, let me know if I'm back. I'm hoping I'm back here. It's looking okay, I think, over here. Are we back? That might be better. What's up, folks? Okay, what a mess. A little bit of turbulence there. Look, some network, and he's gone. Some people are saying yay. Some people are saying nay. What a mess. I'm going to wait another moment. Might have to do something else. All right, we're green. I got to say, I'm confident we're good. We're certainly green. I think we got through that turbulence. I'm confident we got through that turbulence, folks. Thanks for the patience there. We got you on. Okay, amazing. I want to welcome my viewers on rumble.com/American Anchor Baby, punchy.tv/Anchor Baby. With the internet there, you know. Amazing. So thank you for tuning in. We're going to take calls as well. We have the lines open, 844-900-2229. I'm live here in the Discord channel if you're part of it. I'm in the one at a time voice chat. Come on in and say hi if you got something to say. My viewers on rumble.com/American Anchor Baby, we got you here. And reset. Make sure you just reset a little there, like close your app or whatever if the audio is a little messed. And of course, my viewers on punchy.tv/Anchor Baby, thank you very much. And I think we're going to be okay now. I'm just taking it easy. Please like Ruben says in the chat, says like the stream. Don't be rude. You're here. You got through the turbulence. We're going to get into it here. Don't be rude. Show some decorum. And click the like button, okay? Leave a little comment. Tell me what you think. Say hello in the chat. We see you. Don't be rude. You're just sitting there. All righty. So what can I say? Look, there's something going viral. I want to get right into it. A bit of an old post going viral here. They brought it back out from the depths of 2014. Trump on the radar of some, maybe. Older folks. He said he would run one day. No, maybe. Can't say anybody was thinking about him like that. 2014, the incoming Trump presidency. I wasn't thinking about it. The show isn't playing properly. Reset it on your app, I think. The show isn't playing properly. Yes, reset your app. So, I'm confident we're back. And if you just do a little reset, you'll be okay. Going back to 2014, like I was saying here for a moment. Now, the reason this post is getting attention, I think, you know what? I can't even tell you how it works here. An old post on X.com. What was Twitter, I have to imagine, back then? No, I think we can confidently say that. What was Twitter back then? A post from 2014 gaining a surge in attention. Comments from hours ago. Whole bunch of them. Memeing on the post. You got, we won is the vibe. We are now here 2025. 11 years later. What was the conclusion of this article, of this post? Now we're going back to Gamergate. Okay? Gamergate goons can scream all they want, but they can't stop progress. What's that? What's been that progress? And, you know, I've brought this up a number of times, actually. So it's funny that this comes up. The overarching story of the gamers here. What became of it? What it is now? And, or I guess what became of the gamers now? Now, okay. We are going back a bit, so it's kind of ancient lore in a sense. So is my intro playing? My apologies. This is ancient lore, so to speak. And so basically, look. It starts with some story. It starts with this. It starts with like. I stopped myself a bit because, you know, when you look it up, the history says, but I wasn't there. You know, was this really the spark? But they say it was this individual and his claims about another woman, a woman in the industry, in the gaming industry, and specifically in journalism, Zoe Quinn. Okay. And the claims were that basically, you know, this was done by an ex, by the way. You know how that goes. So an ex was like, hey, you're actually a slut. You're sleeping with these people in the gaming industry. You're not, your journalism is not your journalism. This is merely about honor and the principle of it all, about journalism in the gaming industry. I'm sure the ex might have thought to himself, and you know what, your journalism is just not up to snuff. It's really about your cleavage, and you're just like sleeping with these people. Some kind of nasty claims. That's what the allegations. And this really became many other things. Okay. Initially, a much larger conversation about, sure, women in gaming, but no, specifically more like feminism in gaming. And what many at the time saw as a culture / hobby / world that was largely theirs, right? And who's they? Like men, young men, a little more irreverent than your average person with their language. Irreverent in many things, actually, if you know the gamers. But you might have a taste of it when in the famed Call of Duty lobbies, right? Turn on your mic, and it's like a slew of just a dirty river of sewage coming out from those other microphones that you're all playing with. Wait, let me check my chat. Am I still live? I'm checking on you. I'm checking on you guys here all of a sudden, and it's saying I got 3 viewers. 3 viewers. No. Hey, but you're chatting. Okay, so I think it's just a little glitchy. We'll look back on that in a moment. So, the gamers, right? Irreverent. They saw it as an affront to their thing. Right? You'd play a game and it's like, okay, you know, it's feminist. If it's a historic game, you know, the women, it's some girl boss. And she's like, I'm gonna defeat patriarchy. And right, the talk of the right. I'm giving you a summary, a crude summary, but like the pink-haired feminist who's ruining our games. And that was just one thing. That was one thing. It became a number of things about feminism, right? These women, their culture, their stuff, they saw as their space, and it was unfair, almost placed on them. Woke culture, political correctness. And so I want to go back to this article. Let me tell you what was like bringing it back in the algorithm, where it's a number of comments here. I don't know what really set it off, but we can gather here. Look, bunch of people here are commenting on this 2014 post. Like say sometimes when you're going the wrong way, turning around is the best way to make progress. People saying otherwise so many years later. You lost, says another. And they share an image. It's actually interesting. Homeland Security on X, right? This place that's become the public square, very popular with many people. One of the big social medias in the modern world where people campaign, where news goes around. Like, the world has changed a bit, right? The internet, the phones in the pockets. And Homeland Security on the official account is posting Halo images. You see the flood. Now the flood, what was the flood in Halo again? You could tell I didn't play the campaigns and all that. But the flood is like a parasite or a parasitic alien life form. It takes over everything, destroys, corrupts. Okay? Just pure biology. Pure, unfettered like perfect biology in a sense, right? The perfection of physical biology to replicate itself and grow and it becomes a monster, right? If you were to take that to its logical conclusion, at least in some fictions. And the flood, so that's what ICE is saying here, right? Homeland Security is telling you join.ice.gov, join ICE to deal with the flood. I mean, it's saying finishing the fight. I mean, hey, they keep spawning endlessly, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's, I know you see the image of the warthog and the gun, okay? They deport these people, okay? They're deporting them. They're not shooting them, but and there's nobody who should be shot that's not like violent or like, right? They're not being I'm trying to tell you that I don't like violence. I'm telling you how because the world is crazy. I almost have to say it, right? I disavow violence. Don't go around driving a warthog, chat. Make sure you don't get your warthog and go destroy the flood. Okay, it's like a crazy world. So it's crazy I even have to say such a thing, but okay, look. They're saying the gamers won. I haven't thought about it much. Maybe it represents a cultural victory in some ways. Maybe in some pretty deep ways. I haven't thought about it much. You got the JD Vance, ODST, what is it? Orbital's troopers coming down. JD Vance coming down. Yeah, we won. You could say that, maybe. Like I said, I haven't thought about it. But that's what's making it viral, bringing it back out of the depths. And it's almost even interesting to kind of go through a little bit of the article. Going back, Laura Hudson. Now, I never read this back then. But this is a little moment in time, and you'll find this somewhat interesting. Laura Hudson here. I don't know how old she was back then. Little journalist, gleam in her, a little twinkle in her eye on gamers. Okay, the Gamergate goons can scream all they want, but they can't stop progress. Remember? And again, just to reiterate, because I had brought it up before, like, check it out. Just a moment for me to say, see, this is what I was talking about. Right? This progress that has happened. I've described it a little bit, right? The women have taken over. Is it all good? They're quite perverted. They're quite they hate men. They're feminist. And there's even a little, I can even understand some things here. We'll get into it. How about we do it? So this was back in 2014. In response to this, what they're saying is like, wow, this is like a unfair response to the women in gaming. It's like, there's girls game. Don't you know that? There's more of us than ever. So so it starts here. As anyone paying even tangential attention to video games likely knows, the medium is in the throes of a misogynist backlash. Remember, this is how they started it off. It's already misogynist. So it's like a fight, right? Did we have to fight back? Maybe, I don't know what I'm saying. We. Misogynist backlash so virulent, it often could be described as terrorism. In the past 9 weeks, 3 female game professionals, Anita Sarkeesian, Brianna Wu, and Zoe Quinn, names you might remember, have been driven from their homes by death threats. Now, that was something that people were saying was terrible back then. I remember that. I was like, we don't like that. We disavow that. And it was like, and I'll reiterate that again. That shouldn't have happened. They shouldn't get death threats, blah, blah, blah. But if I remember, the kind of reporting on that was like, well, I mean, it's not everything they say. These people get death threats and terrible things online as figures all the time, or even as female figures, right? That's why this became a thing. The rampant misogyny wasn't just this moment. It was like a thing that you'll see this in the article and how they talk about it. It's been a problem. These people are misogynist. When you get them on the game lobbies on the mic, and they hear you're a woman, they start, talking about you, blah, blah, blah. So the death threats that caused them to leave, as terrible or however true, it was within that, within some of what I said too, possibly. But Sarkeesian, so they go on. She goes on, talks about the bomb threat and the target of terror threats, someone promising terrible things, like whatever. We disavow that, but the point about that was also that, like I said, people were saying that. I remember people saying like, "That's crazy. That's not what we're saying here. That these women should get hurt." It's about these following things, right? The woke culture, the feminism, etc. Harassment is sadly commonplace reality for women on the internet. See? In almost any field. Yet the ongoing death threats, rape threats, and harassment campaigns directed at women in games has eclipsed other media. But why has the emergence of new female voices in gaming provoked such a disproportionately violent reaction? There's a reason gamer has become a singular term in a way comic book fan, movie buff, and TV viewer aren't. For some who play video games, it's not a hobby. It's an identity. One in the midst of a cultural shift that has produced ugly and often frightening reactions, specifically because it cuts so deeply to the heart not only of what people like to do, but who they are. A rather poignant comment back in 2014. Did we know? I didn't read this back then. I wasn't even like gamergating it. I didn't even have social media. I got social media. I started work with Jesse Lee Peterson. I'm like, okay, let me check out social media. I guess I got it. So like, I don't know the minutia, but that was poignant, no? The identity. And that's something that's wrong with the gamers. Part of going back to this article and going back to a number of things we'll be getting into here, is because of what has happened to men and what they pay attention to, what they're into, and how they're responding. If you look at it from like a bird's eye view, you can kind of see why. You can see they're responding, why they like Andrew Tate, why they're into Chad's alpha males. Like they're sick of the weakness. Even some of the people that say they're supposed to be tough, like, hey, you got to get married, we're Christians. They're the worst. And what has happened to young men, like what their reality is, gaming, and not everybody, but we're starting with these people who identify as a gamer. Anything. I mean, they have also it's like almost like gamblers. I don't mean to judge them. It's not a judgment, but it's like when Jesus would hang out with the adulterers and the swindlers and the gamers. It sometimes feels like that. Sometimes they get They have a more of a darker bend. They're into their proclivities, desires, etc. Pornography, drugs like weed, like gaming, just being degenerate, or just, you know, being and wasting your life. Right? Just being real, like that's a couple of things that's wrong with them, and I think it comes down to this identity. They've identified there. In some ways, looking at a bird's eye view, these people who are really just young men. They're not now always necessarily like really that messed up. It's definitely not at the beginning. They're sometimes nerdy, sure, and a whole bunch. Sure, there's maybe some that are like quite nerdy and incel-y, as they call them. I don't like it. But, you know, it really, there's also a much bigger, a much wider classification there. That's really young men. They got into stuff, and it feels like maybe they were left out of other things. It's just a weird world, growing up in a weird world. So they're into their stuff, maybe cornered into it. I don't know, like describing it like that. And then the women are coming in there too. And so they're holding on to the identity. A bit of what's wrong and / a bit of understanding of what's happening. Now, here's a part that was also interesting because it's somewhat true. Now, this whole section of the article is basically an attempt to essentially prove that women are gaming. There are more women gamers than ever. Odds in the studies, 48% people playing video games today are female. More adult women playing games than ever. And here's the thing about that. There's like, that's true actually, largely from what I can tell, it's largely true in the massive shift of gaming. Like, if you think about it, gaming really is, it's really just like it's really closely tied with just technological uptake, and I'm just using big words, you know, just progress with technology, and the technology being so interesting and novel, that it's just a new uptake in the world. It's similar to the TV, sure. As you see, as games become more advanced and just more eye-catching, it's just like the younger generations are overwhelmingly gaming, and it's both men and women. And I think it's a matter of just technology being just cooler, better. People wanting to make games for all sorts of people. As it stands now, yeah, there's a lot of female gamers. Now, it matters with the demographics. It's really the younger demographics. They're all gaming, and the women are gaming too. But to really get a better picture is you got to divide it also by like category and like what kinds of games and stuff like that. The shooters, the shooters, the AAA shooters, line service competitive games, console. If you look at it just by console too, it's like male dominated. But then you get all it's a new world, right? It's funny. The Harvest Moons, right? The farming game, Stardew Valley. I know the girls are playing Valorant. The girls are shooting up in Valorant. Still male dominated. And I'm just describing really how gaming is not like it's really a technological revolution type thing. All your parents are scrolling on TikTok, okay? They're doom scrolling on TikTok. They're reading articles on 6-7 and what's the slang. It's funny, slang is not for kids anymore. It's really a monoculture, and it's thanks to the internet, the phones, the technology. Sure, when you kind of uncover it, they got their own places, and because they got different likes, right? The older people probably do something. The women play their women stuff. But it's a technological revolution. Some older people are gaming, but, you know, it's really a younger generation thing. You're following me here. Animal Crossing, yeah. So, yeah, that's somewhat true. Like, it's evolved. It's a bigger thing. Like, gaming, I mean, I think money-wise makes far more than TV and movie put together. And it's all sorts of people get into it. Simulation is growing like crazy. It's like your dad is like wants to fly planes and play golf simulator and stuff. And so whatever. So that's just a funny thing about it. That's somewhat true. What that means, I don't know. whatever. Like, did they have to be all feminist about it though, and get mad at the men who were just saying, "Hey, why are you putting like that in my game?" I say this too to just kind of describe, without assigning morality, right? They were right, they were wrong. The growing pains of technology and culture changing, right? No, that's our thing. That's the guy thing. So it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, without like judgment and anger. So I think that was this article, right? Just kind of giving you a reminder, Gamergate, why it's going viral right now. And what else was? I think there may be one more thing here. How women have become so visible. Ultimately, the anti-feminist movement in games has a great deal in common with the religious right. In both instances, their fixations on ethics and values comes down not to a desire for a pluralist culture with a wide array of perspectives and values, but one where anything less than the absolute dominance of their own perspectives and values is perceived as oppression. This was quite an interesting line of this. Going right, putting it in the timeline, 2014 to now. And how they were connecting this, why now you see why this was connected to Trump, why the Gamergate guys and these people are just right-wing people, and that's why Trump's a problem. It's the women in like a throw of, they had what they got, but they can't keep it unless with people asleep. And so at the prospective loss of, I want to use worldly words like power, worldly power. It was like a death throw. Oh, this is just religious right. Trump, this is racism. But let's take in how even on its face, that's not even true, right? Where these people, they don't want a multi-pluralist culture. It's like, yeah, no, we don't. Okay, and I can't even say that about all the gamers, right? Because they were like, a lot of them were mad about stop messing with our games, but then it became about these cultural issues, Christianity, feminism, and all that. They're like, leave me out of it, And then what happened as the years went on? They're getting stepped on at their conventions. Women now rule it. I don't think it ended up in a good way. But look, on its face, sure, they don't want this pluralist culture, wide array of perspective values. On the title of this article on progress, have you seen the so-called progress of this pluralist society? You like it? But on the second claim, is not even true. That they would want a society where anything less than the absolute dominance of their own perspectives and values is perceived as oppression. That's only as the younger generations are getting angrier because of oppression on them. I don't like saying that. I don't think they're oppressed. They're men. They're supposed to be men. You're supposed to overcome the world. You got it in you. But if we're going to use such a word when these people aren't oppressed, yeah, it's going to become that, but it's not that. Have you met these guys? Like, sure, the younger guys are like more irreverent than ever. I think if you pin them down, the vast majority is still like, okay, like, I mean, are we going back to like the 1800s? No, like maybe in some ways. So this was interesting, right? Because of that connection to Trump and the right wing. And it's like, these people are like Christians. These people are like religious right people. And it allows me to kind of get into, well, just in general, just the Christian way. The Christian way. I've heard this going around. Christian sexual morality. You guys know some of it. I mean, look, sex before marriage. Ain't that a little ideal gone? But there's a number of things I guess I could say right now. What's coming to mind, just personal. I can't say. I have to say, like, I think if sex was left out in the past, whatever, all of my relationships would have been. Sex was a complication. and sure, maybe other things, but before marriage, I'll tell you at least, because I can say a number of things, right? But I'm just thinking personally, I guess this is what's coming out. Yeah, sex was a complication. I'll tell you that. Sex before marriage has been a complication. It just is. And so just connecting it to the gamers and how women have ruled. Women, what? I don't know if they rule. I mean, maybe Gamergate hasn't ended. Someone said that in the chat. It's ongoing, Nick. But I'll tell you the state of things. I mean, you can't criticize them. I mean, they got white knights all around them in the mainstream gamer world. If it's the conventions and all that, they're just, you're right. Because the thing was, remember the women were getting criticized for being booby streamers. You know, merely showing a little cleavage on Twitch. It's like, this isn't. What is this? This is like, they're messing up our stuff here. It's not about gays. It's about boobs. There's no talk of like that anymore. In fact, the boobs are everywhere at the convention. And the guys are little simps, and they're getting stepped on. And what's happening, these women are not just little streamers. They're like, how do I put this? Prostitutes. Allow me to explain what I'm saying here. It's not an insult, because I mean this in both profession and mindset. Professionally, it's like they're OnlyFans girls, and that's like, what is that? That's a prostitute with the low barrier to entry. A brand new creation in our society. Do you understand? I've said this before. OnlyFans. You know, remember when you heard about OnlyFans? You're like, okay, who's gonna? That's free. That stuff's free. Who's gonna pay for that? Turns out they're paying for that. They love it. It's a huge industry, and it's twofold. It's got this twofold nastiness to it. The women, this low barrier to entry. And your 18-year-old daughter at college is now a prostitute, and two, the young men. It's like, wow. Or even just men in general, they're into like the connection. They're into like she's talking to me. She's DMing me. It's going to happen. She said she likes pigeons. I love pigeons. It's going to happen. So you got those ladies doing that. Now, this is what I mean by prostitute in two ways. In profession, but in mindset. They are like, how do I put this? Like vixens, not the word. That's not what the word. What does vixen mean? Does vixen just mean like sexy and coquettish? I mean, what's the word? Predatory. Predatory. I know how to wrap men around my finger. And this is my main modus operandi. This is how I operate. This is how I make money. This is how I get views. This is how I interact. Just if you're on the internet, you kind of know what I'm talking about in the gamer world. And what's with the men? The men are kind of like, this is just their life. This is just like, what isn't predatory? But but these young girls are like, once you're like in that profession, it's you get quite good at your profession, and that's like that profession, you need to be like predatory. Okay, I need to get these men. And it's all wrapped up in like a nice looking thing. It's just a gamer convention. It's just a gamer convention. This is not a prostitute convention. This is creepy people. Women are here. Look, the women are here. This is normal. The women like it. They're cool. This is cool and normal and you know what I'm saying? So that's the opposite of like any semblance of what we may have heard of what a Christian morality is, right? Trying to put a square peg in a round hole. Can we just try? Just try putting the round peg in the round hole. Just like try it. I'm talking about marriage and society, not anything else. Whatever. Look, it's a commentary on the men, right? What they must overcome, what they've allowed, and how the upside down order here is it's not good for it's not good for the society, the world. You saw RFK talking about the birth rates. It's a national security issue. What did he say about it though? Did he say it sounded like he took like a very I don't know, fertility standpoint. Like it's like there's stuff in the food. There's stuff in the food. in the hormones, right? Taking a very biologic, which is probably true. I really don't know the details of the birth rates and the fertility rates, but you know, I have to imagine this huge part of it is social, right? Not even, they're not fertile, but what do I know, right? The RFK probably got the numbers. I mean, they're probably less fertile. Maybe they really are less fertile than ever. Is that really the whole thing? The women have become feminists. They hate men. Like rabid feminists. Look at Gamergate. Oh, are you even getting any desktop audio?
Rate, in other words, fertility rate.
There's your desktop audio. Now you can hear everything.
When my uncle was president, the fertility rate in this country was 3.5%. Today, it is 1.6%. The replacement rate, in other words, the amount of fertility that you need in order to keep your population even, is 2.1%. We are below replacement right now. That is a national security threat to our country. And we know why this is happening. And President Trump is addressing the root causes through his MAHA agenda of reducing endocrine disruptors, the exposure to chemicals that decrease fertility.
It's the endocrine disruptors, right? I'm really not even being that sarcastic. Like, that's probably an issue, maybe even a deep issue. So I'm not even being that sarcastic. But in that, but I'm trying to hit him with a little. It's just the endocrine disruptors there, RFK. It's just the endocrine disruptors. Mic check, mic check. Okay. It's the microplastics. Justin Bieber reveals what he classifies as cheating during most candid chat ever about marriage to Haley. I found this somewhat interesting. Can we check this out together here? Canadian. Justin Bieber, Christian, married, with kids. You should be hearing the music now, right? Desktop audio was muted this whole time.
If you even think of a woman with is going away. If you even think of a woman with lust, it's the same thing as going away. Actually doing it. Committing adultery or whatever. Yeah. Like, it's the same thing. So it's like if it even just crosses your mind for 1 second.
I found that somewhat interesting, right? You know, I saw the article title. He's like, reveals what he classifies as cheating. I'm like, what are these people talking about? I don't know. The mind is judgmental. Let's blame it on the devil. and he talks about a little something that's maybe almost basic Christianity. I don't even know why I would put it like that. Yes, Ned, I hear the music. It feels like I'm shopping in a mall in 1995. Perfect. So he brings up like maybe almost a little classic Jesus quote there, no? About lust in the mind. Now, it's almost even worth bringing that up. What did Jesus say? Get the full scripture on that. Preach up. Preach up. Yea, have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart. And here's why I like Justin Bieber bringing it up. Look, he's a Christian. Without having how true of a Christian he is, because we talk about that. Concerning how weak, I mean, even the people who say they're supposed to be strong, Christians, conservatives, Republicans, we do that plenty. But, you know, there's a time and place. Because without even having to define such a thing, did he forgive? even just that general info has some practicality to it. Imagine a Christian society with at least practicing Christianity, right? I think that's a positive direction. And it's a funny thing because it's almost ancient. It's almost hard to understand. I wonder what Justin Bieber, if I didn't see this interview. Maybe I'll check it out. Maybe he spoke on it deeper, what he thought about it. Because it almost seems so foreign. Like, what do you mean I can't even think about it? Now remember, it's like Christian sexual morality. This topic keeps coming up. This has already a flavor to it that's so unique. If you merely think about it, I mean, I don't know if the Muslims and Jews and other people are like that, but I gather it's maybe uniquely Christian. And here's why it matters, because it's like you think it's so foreign and alien. If I merely think about it, you almost don't even want to deal with that. Like I'll deal with that later on life, Pastor. Read me that scripture some other time. But you got to understand, it so fits with what we heard Jesse saying. You'll see it in your own life, whatever. Call me if you disagree. 844-900-2229. But think about it. If you can think about it, you would do it. You just merely don't have the chance. If you can think about it, if you can think about it, I almost even qualified it. If you sat there and obsess about it, okay, Nick, I don't obsess about it. I wouldn't do it. Don't get too comfortable. You believe thoughts. If you can think about it, you would do it. It's the thoughts that run it. It's the thoughts that run you. So if you can think about it, you would do it. And the women would love to use this on the men. And I see that's why pornography is so bad. You're an adulterer. Yeah. But sure. That verse was not just about adulterers and that. That verse was not just about adultery, Okay, let me tell you, because I remember, and now I got to hear, that Jesus was, if you go to the bigger passage here, it's a big, big topic he's into. And he's talking about everybody, okay? He's talking about women too. Let me tell you. I'm picking somewhere to go in here. I'm picking a place to jump in. Matthew 5. Because he was just let's jump in. I say unto you, I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. You've heard that it was said in them of old time, thou shalt not kill, and whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment. But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Raka, shall be in danger of the council. I forget what that means. But whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. It's not just adulterers and you're lusting. It's all things of the spirit. All the conflict going inside of you. You have hell in you. You must be born again, I guess. I'm just borrowing a term from Jesus here. Don't sue me. You must be born again, right? You got evil. And so, right? So you're a woman. You're like, yeah, see, you're an adulterer. Not me. I don't think terrible things. Women love to do that. The Christian women especially. Not me. And they're the worst in the room. Judging with desires, with hell up and down, just like the next guy. Guess what? You're a murderer. You're a killer. So that was pretty interesting. Justin Bieber. I don't know I don't know what it really means to them, where they took it, but yeah. If you can think it, you would do it. You just don't have the opportunity. And be grateful that you don't, and you have the opportunity instead to maybe overcome. Okay, that's why you don't have, right? You think, oh, I would be amazing if I had millions and millions of dollars. You would be you would be 10 times worse than you are now. 100 times worse than you are now. I wouldn't be like Diddy. I wouldn't be like Diddy. You would be 10 times the Diddy. Think about all the things you're thinking about. You become a gamer and you're into all your porn and you don't even question that. You know how many people? It's like the generational difference on that. That is crazy. It doesn't. We do not talk about that. Yes, your grandparents are doom scrolling on TikTok, but your beautiful little child, who now may be an adult, young adult, but even now 10 years old, younger, are getting pornadoed times 10 than the Anchor Baby got pornadoed when he was a kid by typing sex.com, my little curiosity, left alone on my devices on my computer. They're like, look at little Nick. He's a little whiz kid with that computer. Just let him go crazy. And that's fine. Maybe where was the direction? I don't know. It was a technological revolution. They parental block. I mean, he would never type sex.com. Boom, pornado. Yeah. The younger generations, it's like, we don't talk about that. Sexually weird, man. Just inundated. And then you got, right? See, this is why it all fits. This is why I'm talking about it. Why it fits with Gamergate and all that. The women, it's like, you question that. You're like, what are you, a right winger? What are you, a Nazi? What are you? They're feminists. They're like, they may not all be like sex work is real work, but they're pretty much cool with it. And they don't see how dark it all is. It's the depths. It's the dumps. It's just the dumps of people. Their worst parts. Just let's be dumpy people. Just, I'm going to show a little cleavage, get a little money, and I'm a guy, and I'm, whatever. So anyways, more on a number of things here. Look, I want to get to my calls, 844-900-2229. I want to get to, I believe we got Tejas on the air, Texas. Appreciate your call, your name, and where you calling from.
It's John from Texas.
John the J-Man from Texas, Houston. Appreciate your call, man. You're on the air.
Calling in because today I was thinking about video games, and it was just that so sweet that you were talking about it. So sweet.
Nice.
Harmonious perfection.
Serendipity.
So it's such serendipity that I used to play video games, and I would forego working on myself because I was just angry. And so I would choose a video game instead of working on myself.
Deep.
Yeah, it is deep. And it is a monoculture. It is a monoculture now, and yeah, you can just get pornadoed on your Nintendo. I don't have a Nintendo, I have a PS4, but
probably do it on that too.
I don't think you. No. This
so
just can't
PlayStation is unpornadable.
Just can't be.
This is good information for the parents, maybe.
No, I don't know. I haven't checked the online store. I haven't checked the online store. I will let you know though.
Thanks.
That gamer culture and everything, and it's just so. I'm just so not into that. It's so angry. If you go online and look at the YouTubers and stuff, it's not just angry, it's snobby. How they review games. If a game comes out and it happens to be really bad graphics and shouldn't have those graphics, and there's uproar and they're charging a ton of money for it, and it's really sloppy. And
may I interject there? I know what you mean. If I may add to that, I see the same low standards in people. They may complain a lot in the gamers. They'll be like, but they're like begging for slop. Usually it's like the people who like beg for minimum wage. It's like, this is all right, but then you think about it, you're like, you're begging for crumbs. You're like, they're so finicky about this and that, but they're fine with buying the next AAA title that's the same thing. If I may add to what you were saying, please keep going.
This is worse because, okay, yeah, you're paying and you have low standards, and you're paying, though. You're not just asking for a free handout. You're paying for the low standards, and then you're just like having fun, I guess, as a 12-year-old, if you go online and look at the YouTube channels that are talking about like this new game that came out, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a very popular game, and it's very sloppy.
What came out?
And it's interesting. No, I don't want to talk about it, but I just want to say that there's two sides of it where it's a long-running franchise where you collect monsters, and Lin Yan Chin loves it, and he messages Hake about it. But you collect monsters, and it's been a long-running franchise. It's the biggest franchise in the world. I think you know what I'm getting at. So there are people that are just want to play that game because, hey, this monster collecting can get you a kind of a dopamine hit.
Yeah.
With the gameplay.
And the trading cards and all that.
And on the other hand, there are people that are just hating on it, hating on it. Yeah. So there's people that are just hating on it. And I think they're both wrong. They're both angry. Like, everything about gamer culture is pretty much wrong.
Totally. And then that anger, this is what this is why I want to add to what you're saying, because in that anger, they end up fighting for vomit. It's like, didn't the Bible say something like that? I don't even know if it was about this, but they vomit and they eat their own vomit. They're like, and they're mad. They can't see. And they're like, this is the problem. They're making us buy loot boxes, and we don't want loot boxes. Get rid of loot boxes. Like, no, they see that you're, no, it's not that they're going to put loot boxes. We just got to get rid of loot boxes. No, they see that you're a cash cow, that you're a mark. And they know this from just how you are. You're easily emotional. You could be lied to. You're into all the easily and emotional syntaxes, right? Like porn, weed, you're into all those things. So bingo, that's a mark. That's someone you could easily market and lie to, right? Do you see the bigger thing there? They return to their vomit in their anger. Please go ahead.
It's kind of slipped my mind, but
sorry.
That culture it's kind of starting to get boring. It's prices going up, and like you're acting like you're 12 years old. I mean, it's just video games.
Yeah.
But I cherish the memories that I had with video games. But I gotta say, like, it's getting sore to like keep up with technological advancement. It's just not for me. As a regular person, I'm not a tech savvy, ingenuitive, person, innovative type of person. Maybe I am innovative, but I'm not. I don't know that computer science stuff. Anyway,
the what's cool about what I like about your call too is I think it shows a lot of people in this, and really the men, right? Because it's like the women came into this, they're like, let me show a little cleavage, do this. I'm having fun playing these games. I don't get the same vibe like the young men. The young men are like slogging through this and miserable. Don't you get that? Whenever I go through the community boards of competitive games, it's a bunch of guys who are like, I hate playing this game, but I can't stop. But I need to beat people. Like Rust or any game like that. They're like, you look at the community boards. It's like, hey, I'm new to Rust. Do you guys think I should play this game? And it's a bunch of comments saying, no, don't ruin your life. Stop. And it's like, I don't get the same vibe with the women. Yeah. They're not like miserable like that, right? Like knowing that they're having like this guilty conscience, knowing that they're not exactly living that well, right? And so,
or on the other hand, the comments, they're like, yes, this game has a complete interface data system, and the UI when you pull up the menu is so clean, and it's like they're glazing it, but it's just like mindless glaze.
I just gather that there's a lot of young men who I think see it your way, and I think they would agree. I'm just saying that I gather there's a lot of even gamers maybe in it, but they know something's wrong. And
women, they like games. Women like they like the games that have low standards and are easy to beat.
Sometimes. Well, right on, John. I appreciate your call, man. Anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, I gotta go.
Call me again, sir.
All right.
You know what I'm talking about, folks? I want to get into Escape from Tarkov. What do you think I should do? Stop. It's like all the comments are like, don't. Love yourself. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? And the ladies are like, la la la, I'm just a streamer. I'm having fun. I'm at the conventions. La la la. Men are like, yeah, I'm a gamer. I love being a gamer. It's like darkness. I wake up. I play hours and hours. The sun goes down. The sun comes back up. I sleep. I wake back up. I waste my life on games. I love games. And all the guys who play games and grew up in my generation and all that know what I'm talking about. It's like a love-hate relationship thing. That's why you gotta grow up. Well, that's silly. No. You gotta forgive. You'll never grow up if you don't forgive. Evil is influencing you in your mind to have the wrong relationship with the world and stuff. You could play, you could have fun. You could do anything you want, actually. You could do anything you want. Isn't that amazing? But you have the wrong emotional relationship with the world. You have evil influencing you in your mind. Forgive your mama. Garrett, we got Garrett, I think New Hampshire. How you doing, sir, on the air?
Yes, sir, Nick. How you doing? I'm doing well.
All is well, man. Thanks for your call.
Yeah. So I was trying to get out of the shower quick enough because I was listening on the phone while I was getting ready for everything else, and I wanted to get on and talk to the caller a little bit because I was going to make a joke. I got a bone to pick with you. I play video games. What are you talking about? But just a little joke.
Fair enough. No, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, no more. John's gone now, but go ahead. He's listening, I think.
Yeah. I love how he related it to other things in life. It wasn't just like so casually just attacking gamers or anything like that. He related it to, men and women and different primal instincts, I guess would be something to say, and other hobbies and whatnot. And I'm pretty sure it's the same everywhere. A lot of things are gate kept.
Well, let me ask you, what was about his call that was an attack to gamers? You might be right.
Oh, that was just a joke. I don't think he was actually attacking gamers.
Did it?
No, yeah.
But, even if it wasn't personal, I definitely don't get that from you at all. Is any part of that statement, are you thinking any part of that statement is somewhat true? Like, because I find that an interesting way of saying that it was an attack on gamers. Even if you're not taking it personally, I don't think you are.
Okay.
Was there anything he said that was untrue? Let me put it like that.
No, nothing. No, I don't think he really said anything that was untrue. Mm-hmm. I ended up seeing, a couple people in the chat or anything, like whether they were poking fun or whatnot. What phrase struck me from him is that, he was just not about that. And I think that some people get so offended when you're not about like their hobby, and that's kind of like the selfishness that comes out. So I don't think it'd be directly on like gamers, but be a little bit different than that of like what you don't like, what I like, that type of thing.
Well, I totally understand that. And see, the thing I gather from John, he's a little unique in that he comes at it from actually being one, though. He being a gamer, so to speak, may not identify as that. But liking games, growing up, and not like He's not coming at it from like, oh, a criticism like that. No, he was in it, and and has become in a certain way that has turned him off. And I thought that was a unique perspective. Do you consider yourself a gamer?
Yeah, I guess I suppose so. People describe me as a gamer. I'm not day in and day out gaming. I have my other hobbies, but I settle down with a game. Yeah.
And how do you see that word, I guess? What does that mean to you, being a gamer?
Oh, that's great, because putting the idea of the label, I guess, thinking about it prospectively different, I am a gamer in the sense that I'll sit down with my brothers, and instead of playing a board game, we'll play Super Smash Bros. I'll sit down and play a round of Call of Duty here or there.
Smash Bros. Melee?
We grew up on Melee.
Or is it still? Oh no, I hear the latest is still competitive, right?
Yeah, Ultimate. I don't do any. I don't do any I don't do any like.
He's a gamer. He knows them.
Or anything else like
that. It's Ultimate, bro.
Yeah, it's Ultimate.
I hear you, man. Yeah, it's a generational thing, I think too. I definitely I didn't grow with. I grew up more like the Zoomers. I think gaming, like not movies and stuff. Like now I am. But
right.
What was I going with that? Yeah, I mean, John was turned off by all that. Yeah, is that do you find anything true about the gamers that he was saying?
Yes, I'd actually have to agree. I don't do a lot of competitive gaming or like multiplayer. Battle Royale is one of my least favorite things to hop into. Every once in a while, one of my buddies convinces me to hop in with them, and I mean, we have fun for a little bit, but I understand what he meant when saying that people get way too heated and into the moment. Like I know it was very, very prominent when COD, Halo, and all those other competitive games were starting up. But I mean, even I'll admit it, I play League of Legends. I love League of Legends. That's my guilty pleasure. So
Jesus would hang out with you. He'd hang out with with that. By the way, I think that's in the Bible, right? He hung out with the drunkards, the like swindlers or whatever, the tax collectors, and the League of Legends players.
And the League of Legends players, yes, I'm
40-minute matches of 40-minute matches of pain.
Oh, yeah,
I'm familiar. No, I'm familiar with League of Legends. I'm familiar with League of Legends. I had fun playing with friends, but I was never. I'll tell you that. I'll know. I know what you mean. So I'm not making fun of you. I'm having a kinship with you. It's degenerate.
No.
It can be. I don't know what it is about League, but for some reason it's so toxic and it can be so degenerate. Literally everybody in that game is like a mere comment, just the littlest comment away from losing it, like absolutely losing it. It's incredible to find them all collected in one game. It's strange. What's up with that?
Yeah, I mean, I've known a couple games to be like that. There's a lot of them. I mean, you remember Xbox lobbies in like early Call of Duty days. I won't repeat what was said in there, but But League of Legends collected to be like that, and I think part of that comes from a little bit what was it John was talking about the online persona of some of these people, and then a lot of people mimic that.
Interesting, man. Well, fair enough, Garrett.
I mean, it just kind of makes sense. If you can't quote unquote put a name onto your anger, just take somebody else's and throw it in. That's where you get all those people saying the same insults, the same this, the same that, the same everything. And then you get those people saying, "What, are you not a real gamer?" And that's where the breed of toxic gaming comes into play.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying, kind of. Yeah, I'm not even thinking about their tone and all that. No. But Garrett, we spent plenty of time on this. Can you call me again?
Yes, definitely. Sorry, Nick. I rambled.
No,
Bye.
no, sorry. Don't be sorry at all. That was a fine call. Call me again. 844-900-2229. It's like drug addicts. When you talk to someone who played League of Legends, they tell you, and then you ask, well, hey, should I get into League of Legends? They tell you no. It's like a drug addict. It's like a former or a current addict. They're like, yeah, whatever, you stay away from it. Stay away. I think it's something about the competitiveness of it. And the people, the type of people getting into it, not being used to such a thing. You know, you grew up going to gym class and you play sports, and you know you understand competitiveness in this. You might have encountered emotion, and maybe even had a coach tell you, "Hey, calm down." You're in your room. There's nobody telling you to regulate yourself, and you're just like competing, and like it's like fast competition, clicking, and you're competing. It's like very, very, very competitive. And you got to know all the details, and you can get quite good at this game. And I think it's that. It's like these are men without the true man spirit. I mean, to be summarized, right? They're like their mothers, who sometimes are their fathers. And so without that emotional regulation, then nobody to tell them, and they're in their room competing. They're like, what do you mean I lost? I clicked that though. This stupid game, I clicked it. I swear, I click it every time, and it's not gonna do what I asked it to do. I think that's why. It's the competitiveness and the no emotional regulation, right? Time to overcome the world. Men, you're needed. Okay, can I go off a little bit on what we were kind of going on? Like, look, I was mentioning, I guess we've been talking about it, right? The upside down order, the place of men and women. It's wrong. It's just wrong. It's not working. It's just off, okay? And I gather it's something to do with, it sounds like God was trying to tell us. I heard about it. And I'm like, okay, I'm just a guy here. I'm just a guy. Now I'm looking at the world. I'm like, maybe God really did say that. Wow. Man over woman, woman over children. So, this brings me to Riley Gaines. Okay, she's a young lady. You might know her. She became quite popular. Look at her. She's got a little profile picture with Charlie Kirk. She became one of these conservative, firebrand, right-wing Republican women of power. Host of Gains for Girls podcast. Best-selling author. A TPUSA contributor. You know her because I don't know the exact details, I forget, but I believe she competed against this Leah Thomas type person who is in fact a male, born a male. And, right, started acting pretending like there was this person who's like a female. Starts swimming, starts beating Riley Gaines, starts beating all the women. I don't agree with the trans thing, right? Obviously wrong, right? They're in the wrong place. They're biologically superior and all that. It's just not fair. Okay, I can get with some of that, but Riley, right? She became viral and a speaker and about so many things because of that. Because of, right, this controversy and her going against it. Now, over the years now, has it been years now? Over some time, I've seen her operate, and I share some of what Jesse Lee Peterson kind of thinks about the women involved. Now, I think he's even specifically mentioned Riley, but he has said something about women in the trans thing, right? They're in the school saying, you can't do that. You can't have the bathrooms like that. You can't let men compete in the women's sports. It's not fair. And he so very expertly clocked what was really happening with those women. They're not really for the order of men and women. They're really just feminists. They're really just not happy that men are coming into women's spaces. It's a feminist thing. And this woman is married, a right-wing Republican, pictures with Charlie Kirk. Does she have kids? She says she's a mom. A daughter named Margaret. Born 2025? Her kid's barely a year? What are you doing? I'm a mom. So she's responding to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. It's a cat fight. The ladies are fighting. What a mess, right? American politics. They should be here. So look what happened. They're having a little drama here. AOC and Riley Gaines. You know AOC very well. Somewhat well. We love AOC, right? She shouldn't be in politics. She should be like pregnant or something, right? And that's just like, I'm not even saying anything with that. All right, calm down. She should be, maybe she shouldn't be producing children, actually. Look, we're not scrutinizing that comment that deeply. No need. We're going back to the news here. Pronounced Margot. Okay. So they're fighting, and check it out. Because I commented on this. Allow me to, and I don't know if my comment was that well worded. So it starts off with Riley Gaines responding to AOC. So, okay, actually it starts with Riley Gaines. She posted this picture of Bernie Sanders, Zohran Mamdani, and AOC. Okay? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Democrats, blah, blah, blah. Riley Gaines says, we're being destroyed from within. Right? America is being destroyed from within. Look at these radicals. I get the vibes, Riley Gaines. I get the vibes. Alexandria responds. She says, maybe if you channeled all this anger into swimming faster, you wouldn't have come in fifth. Catty! Huh. Swim harder. You should have swimmed harder instead of complaining. So, Alexandria, I don't know what swimming had to do with this. If I may, I don't know why you're bringing up the swimming thing. But okay, you're making this personal. You're making this a fight between you and Riley. You're making it about her and her accomplishments or lack of them and her failed anger over it. Okay, kind of candy, very feminine coded. This is our politics now, but terrible. What a joke of a country. Women in politics. But she says, maybe if you channeled all this anger into swimming faster, you wouldn't have come in fifth. Riley Gaines responds, it's always hilarious when they think they've landed a gotcha by pointing out I was the fifth fastest woman in the nation. Remember, she's like, by the way, fifth fastest in the nation. I'm amazing. Yet, they conveniently forget the mediocre man who ranked 462nd in the men's division. Misogynistic dunce. And I was reading this, and I'm like, wait a second. There's something about this mishtuka that's wrong. There's something wrong here. Because she's this conservative, right-wing, right? She's standing up for sane, normal stuff. And this woman, Alexandria, doesn't seem to get that I was only the fifth. By the way, fastest woman in the nation. I'm amazing. This AOC doesn't seem to get that I was only fifth because I was misogyny kept me back. Misogyny kept me back. This man, this biological man who was only 462nd in the division. By the way, comments were saying otherwise. They were saying this Thomas was really good as a man as well. But I'm not even getting into that. That's not the point. She's like, this man, the misogyny kept me out. And by the way, he was only 462nd. This AOC doesn't understand that misogyny and these people supporting misogyny and the men swimmers coming into my world. She's a misogynistic dunce. And I was just thinking about it. I'm like, what does misogyny have to do with this? With Alexandria's comment. This is how I worded it. I was like, what does misogyny have to do with this? AOC told her to swim harder. Riley turned it into a gender war. Instead of answering the point about effort, she defaulted to her obsession with men. Riley Gaines is no different than AOC. They both hate God's order of man over woman. I think I could have worded that a little better. See, I had a way longer post, but I don't have the space for that. X limits how many words you could put, so I was really trying to shorten it. And because I don't think AOC's comment about effort is even that good. But seriously, what is misogyny? What do misogyny and the men going into your spaces have to do with this? It in fact doesn't. She can't help but. She literally can't help but bring up her feminism. She literally can't help it. She can't help the right-wing conservative married mom cannot even help herself. She can't even help herself and say bring up and invoke misogyny. She's no different than AOC. If you were to tell her she can't do something because she's a woman and it's not her place, she'd lose it. If you would tell her, hey, you as a married Christian woman, do you believe that in some way, in some level, you see, listen to the language I have to use. Well, I kind of believe, I'm using this language because I believe it, that in some level, you're subservient to your husband. She would lose her mind. Nit hates women. I get it now. Carver, I'm autistic. Don't do that to me. I'm messing around. Do you see this? She doesn't care about the order of man. It comes from the Christian world, the conservative. Come on. She's no different. She can't help but invoke misogyny. Now they're continuing their can't fight here. Gaines says, I want to challenge AOC to a debate.
Here's what I will say. I want to honestly challenge AOC to a debate. She can defend socialism. I will defend capitalism. She can defend
how about
moving God. I will.
Let's talk about something real. The place of women.
Defend embracing a biblical worldview. She can defend child sacrifice. I will defend the sanctity of life. Any of
biblical worldview,
the radical, insane, democratic policies and platform that they stand for, I will debate the opposite. I'm challenging AOC to it here.
Tough.
I thought you were going to challenge her to like a freestyle, 100 freestyle or something. I'm like,
oh, got him, Laura.
That's an unfair fight.
Haha, she was rapping. She was rapping. She continues to stay there because she continues to get votes. Yeah, oh, she's rapping. She was rapping at the convention, guys. What are these people? Yeah, she's silly, but she's getting votes.
In the pool.
Yeah, you can wear like 100-pound weight. And
talk about the radicalization, how there's a swath of the public that's radicalized like AOC and the feminist bend to it, Laura. She's rapping.
Challenge her to it. That would be fair.
I shouldn't go that hard on Laura. It was silly of her.
Mark and Riley, both of you.
But it works, folks. You know, when Hillary Clinton goes up there, I got hot sauce. Did she say that? Whatever. You know, when she's like, I don't feel no ways tired. And we're like, that's so silly. How would that work on anyone? And it works on everyone. So it's just not a good commentary. But look, in response to this, AOC's like, I would like to challenge this person to get a real job. Got him, AOC. Kind of got him. Maybe. No, whatever. Look, Riley Gaines responds, I have a real job. I'm a mom. It's the most important and rewarding job in the world. I think if you had a baby girl like I do, you'd understand my positions a little better. Women are the most vicious, actually. They're the ones who will pick you apart. You're like, yeah, but you have a big nose. You don't even have a kid. You know, they'll say, it's really, I'm just trying to express how women are so catty, right? They're pretty vicious. They'll choose something about you and they're better than you. I have a baby. You don't. I know you don't. I see men doing it, right? Like, are you even married? Why are you even commenting on that? But I don't really see, I see that more with the women and they're quick to do it. If you had a baby girl like I do, you wouldn't be, I'm better than you. My positions would make sense to you. Okay, it's a fine comment, I guess. You're saying you don't understand, you don't have a child, but whatever. Like, AOC wasn't even saying anything about your kid. She's saying get a real job. And she's like, I have a job, I'm a mom. It's like, whoa, you just opened yourself up to scrutiny, Miss Biblical Woman. I want a biblical thing. Tell me, is there anything in the Bible about you gallivanting around on all the cameras and all the shows while you have a child, your little baby daughter, at home? Where's the daughter? What's the father doing? Oh, he's at home taking care of it? You're an abomination. What kind of biblical world is that? Oh, no, he's working too. Oh, so the baby's with a babysitter? What's going on here? Am I crazy? Look, anyways, that's enough about Riley. She can't help it. It's about misogyny with her. Liberty Riley Gaines will beat AOC. Oh. I bet Riley Gaines would beat AOC's. You want them to fight? Final Frontier? Final Frontier wants AOC and Riley Gaines to physically fight. What do you mean? Like in an inflatable pool? Like mud? Like, what do you mean? What are you talking about here? F a debate. Put on bikinis and oversized boxing gloves. See, this is why they did Gamergate. See, this is why they did Gamergate, bro. Jello wrestling match, folks. This is politics. This is serious. That's a mother. That's a Christian mother, and that's a hollowed representative of an American political system. And then you get tone policers in the chat. And nothing personal against him. He's always in the chat. I don't really know him. He's like, my advice, don't constantly think about how terrible women are. Then you get tone policers. Like, hey fellas, the tough Christian conservatives, they're like the worst. Tone policing alongside with the women. but it's nothing. It's nothing. 844-900-2229. We're talking about the mama spirit. We're talking about men overcoming. Not hating. That's so déclassé. That's so déclassé. We're not talking about overcoming. All men and women, they all got to do it. A new way of living. You don't have to be a man, a woman, endlessly fighting, endlessly trying to get each other to please, to not please, to get what you want. You could overcome. Or you're not even in a relationship, but you're just, women are your God. Pornography. You don't know what's wrong in life. You're weak, up, down. But I got my stuff. I got the stuff I like. It's my identity. I'm a gamer. Don't take it away from me. Don't take it away from me. You can overcome that too. That's what we're talking about. How about tell me where I'm wrong? How about that? Harry Halloween. Look, you could be the prince. Prince Harry. Is he no longer a prince? How's that work? You can have money. You can be the prince. You can have, your dad is the king. You could be rich. You could be in the church, a pastor. But if you don't understand this, if you make the woman your God, you will suffer. As Adam did. If you make the woman your God, you will suffer. You can be a prince. And you'll go into her world. She'll convince you your parents are racist. And then you give up all your princely duties. And then what? She's gallivanting around with somebody they call a second husband? Excuse me? Meghan Markle finally shows Archie and Lilibet's faces. I guess we've never seen their faces. I don't know. I don't care about that. In footage shared to Instagram over the weekend, the Duchess of Sussex. Can you call her that? Hold on. Is Harry a prince anymore? And why do they call her the Duchess of Sussex? 44 years old, was seen with Prince Harry and their 2 children on an outing to Lane Farms in Santa Barbara and carving their Halloween decorations. Very nice. Ain't that nice? While Meghan usually obscures the faces of her children, in this latest video, she offered her fans a sneak peek. Meghan's reel showcased Harry's cheeky side, featured her mother, Doria Ragland. You got mama all over your family. Doria Ragland. She always there? I heard she's always there. I heard she's very involved, in fact, now that I remember her face. And you gotta know that's a mess. You gotta know that's hell. Meghan Markle's black mama involved in her marriage. You know that's a mess. Okay. Featured Doria and her close friend, Marcus Anderson. Okay. She got a guy best friend. Marcus is often affectionately referred to as Meghan's second husband because of their close bond over many years. He's been by Meghan's side more than ever in recent months. Look, I just saw the thing about second husband. Look, that's really the point. I really don't care. People order their lives. It's just the big point here about you could be the prince, right? You could be the prince. You got money. You can make her the Duchess of Sussex. But if you make her the god, you're gonna have a second husband, and it's like, is that all like her fault? I mean, that's also allowing it. There should not be an article about your wife and her second husband. That's just, what is that? Harry is Prince Harry, the younger son of King Charles. His full name is Prince Henry Charles Albert David of Wales, but he's always gone by Harry. When he married Meghan in May 2018, the Queen, Elizabeth II at the time, granted them the titles Duke and Duchess of Sussex, a traditional royal practice when a prince marries. He's often given a dukedom. They still hold the titles, though they no longer use His or Her Royal Highness since stepping back from royal duties in 2020. Megxit, as they call it. So I don't get it. Like, so he's not His Royal Highness, the Duke of Sussex. He's just the Duke of Sussex? I don't know. That sounds suspect. That sounds like a consolation prize. How can you not have royal duties and be a duke and have a dukedom? Sounds like a consolation prize. We're going to see poor Harry on the streets of LA over there in Skid Row. You know, we're going to see poor Harry out there, destitute, second husband, dealing with all the duties, no royal duties. Parents won't see him. He's a rift with his brother, gotten bigger than ever. Doesn't talk to his father, won't forgive, still mad about his mom. Ruled by his wife. Got a second husband. Poor Harry, man. Hope we don't see him out in the Skid Row out in LA. Life can come fast. Why is this guy? Who is this guy? I swear, if he's a Chad, chat. If he's a Chad, who is this guy? Ah, frig. He's a Chad, chat. Is her second husband? Ah, frig. I don't know, maybe. He's got kind of pursed lips, but whatever. Standing straight. Damn it! Who is Marcus Anderson? about Meghan Markle's close friend, holding arms, barely a few years ago. Now I'll get too deep on this. Who cares? Marcus Anderson. What a mess. Mr. Steal Your Girl. He's Canadian too. Mr. Steal Your Girl. Oh, man. But what else? They tried to warn you, Harry. They tried to warn you. So, did this come up on the Hake Report for real? Did Squirrelmageddon really come up on the Hake Report? By the way, graphic images coming up. If you don't like seeing squirrels being very violent, then look away. But did Squirrelmageddon really come up on the Hake Report? I saw that video of the squirrel attacking that man. And you guys were joking around like, oh, it begins. Squirrelmageddon begins. The apocalypse of squirrels turning on people. And then you guys were laughing. And I'm like, oh, they think it's a joke. Oh, they were just joking around, laughing. I thought they were being serious, right? I'm like, peeking, I'm tuning in. I'm like, they're talking about Squirrelmageddon. Finally, they're covering Squirrelmageddon. And I gather they thought it was a joke. They thought it was a joke. California squirrels are eating animals in broad daylight. In California, Briones Regional Park, researchers observed that ground squirrels, typically known for eating nuts and seeds, are now hunting and killing and consuming small animals. You see this squirrel? That's a lizard in its clutches. He's just chomping away at its face. And eating of the lizard gecko thing. I don't know what it is. Frog? Look at you. If you don't like seeing fleshy bits, if you don't like seeing... This is the animal kingdom, okay? How do you think you get your food? I go to the grocery store, Nick. Leave me alone. I don't have to deal with this. These squirrels go nuts. California ground squirrels have been observed evolving diet due to environmental stress. The science guy says blah 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 about climate stuff. The original poster says actually fact check, here's your science paper on this. Squirrels are displaying widespread carnivorous behavior for the first time in a California park. What's going on? What's in the water? Look, this guy's got a California ground squirrel carries a vole in its mouth. A vole. Are you familiar with voles? I don't know what that is. I looked it up. It looks almost like a little tiny mole, maybe. It's kind of cute. Little rodent type thing. Vole. Rex Figs says it's nut shortages. Can we confirm this? We got nut shortages. It's the nut room. Voles, okay. In the rolling green hills of California's Briones Regional Park, not far from the urban bustle of Oakland and Berkeley, the squirrels are not what they seem. Instead of simply stuffing their cheeks with fruits, nuts, or seeds, the California ground squirrels are now known to hunt, kill, decapitate, and consume voles, a fellow rodent species, according to research published. This was shocking, study lead author Jennifer E. Smith says in a statement. We've never seen this behavior before. Most people familiar with squirrels, they're accustomed to seeing them on the streets, their yards. And Smith, even more so, she led a long-term behavioral ecology of California ground squirrels project, which monitors squirrel genetics, behavior, and stress responses. But even her intimate knowledge of the rodents, it was only this year her research team observed them actively pursuing and eating meat. And they're not the same squirrels, you know. I swear, I think I was on video, streaming out in the park. I had a little squirrel next to me close, and I'm going like, tick, tick, tick. I'm going like this. I'm like, hey, little squirrel guy. Yeah, not anymore. First, we questioned what was going on, but seeing the videos was astounding and shifted my perspective on a species I've spent the last 12 years of my life studying. You study squirrels for 12 years? I mean, I guess I shouldn't judge. I mean, what have I spent 12 years on? Don't answer that, chat. You're banned. Smith et al. Journal of Ethology, Vole Hunting, Novel Predatory and Carnivorous Behavior by California Ground Squirrels. Where are they getting this? Something in the water? Is it speed? Is it like drugs? California drugs. All that kri-kri coming from over the border. What you got, man? On the kri-kri. Hopped up squirrels, hopped up SoCal squirrels. Hey, man. Hey, man. I don't want no nuts. I don't want no nuts, man. I'm gonna eat your face. That's a squirrel. That's my impression of a squirrel. Damn, look. This squirrel's beefy, too. He looks deezed. He on that carnivorous diet. Look at that. He on that protein diet. Damn. Predation. We are observing predation. Oh. Raw squirrel aggression. Raw and uncut. Whoa! Gruesome. Decapitated. Eating of the flesh. Jeez. I mean, you can grow muscle on. It's a matter of, can your biology metabolize it? That's all. It's just building blocks. Amino acids. It's like, can you metabolize it? Anyways, please stop this. Eating good in the neighborhood. I've observed, for example, raccoons. I remember raccoons in Canada, observing a strange behavior in them. And I don't know if it was talked about. Maybe they already did the papers well before me, but I remember growing up in Canada. And the rakins, you know, the raccoons. You're familiar with raccoons? Raccoons are supposed to hibernate. They're supposed to hibernate in the winter. Oh. Or they somewhat they're not true hibernators, like a bear. They eat like gorge themselves, and then they they basically sleep or move very little in the winter. Hibernation. So they're not true hibernators, but I remember in the winter months, it could be snow everywhere. It's just raccoons are still around just like any other day. And I always thought to myself, it's like the city, right? You know, you got all this food. Behavior changes. Your behavior changes. The animal kingdom, anyways. So yes, that's Squirrelmageddon for you. It's real. It's not a joke. It's in fact really happening. It's happening. Okay. Thank you for the support, everybody. I want to get to all of my super chatters and all my supporters. Thank you, rumble.com/American Anchor Baby, for always supporting and all that. Appreciate that, folks over there. Jules, deconstruct, slave to him. Silent player. Punchy.tv/anchor baby. Shout out to Nicole Jim, the truest of the true. Oh, these are cool comments. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you for always commenting. Warthog was the best. Oh, I loved playing Halo. Gotta go yell at some contractors. Take care, Jim. Working man, Jim. He's got contractors to yell at. Right on. The job site. What do you know about job sites, gamers? Huh? You can learn from each other, right? The boomers are, I mean, I'm not saying Jim's a boomer, but the older generations right about the young, and the younger generations are kind of right about the parents too, huh? Sometimes pretty right. Let me get to my supporters here. Continuing on, my super chatters, buymeacoffee.com/anchor baby. Thank you, someone with the generosity. Very many coffees there, and I love that. I appreciate it. And C-Bill, who's become a monthly supporter. That's awesome over there on buymeacoffee.com/anchor baby. You can become a monthly supporter. C-Bill coming in strong, supporting what he likes or her. And I appreciate that. C-Bill, a monthly supporter and a super chatter over there on YouTube. So coming in strong there. Thank you for that, C-Bill. Carver with super chat says, "Are you ready for EBT Day? Stay safe out there, Knit." Okay, what is EBT Day? Is that November 1st? SNAP benefits. The well has run dry, USDA says, November 1st. Is that EBT Day? I'm trying to mark it on my calendar. So it's not like Thanksgiving. I know they were saying, we're gonna get our Thanksgiving food and you're not gonna stop us. November 1st, the EBT doesn't come through. Ooh. The 42 million Americans. What do we do? Should we do something special for EBT Day? That's Saturday. So Friday, we're Halloween streaming. Should be fun. Saturday, huh? It's going to be riots in the streets. EBT Mageddon. 42 million Americans who rely on the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, will go without their benefits come November 1st. You'd love to see it. I won't go outside for EBT Geddon. Do I strap the backpack on? EBT Mageddon. SNAP, also known as food stamps, is a federal program that provides low-income families monthly benefits. People who can work, people who... It's such a... 40 million people? No, I'm sorry. This is an abuse. This is not... We're helping the low-income people. We're helping the people who need it. It's not. 40 million people. Healthcare policy remains a key sticking point in the shutdown for Democrats who are pushing to reverse Republican cuts to the Affordable Care Act. It was voted on. The big beautiful bill went through. I know how it works. Democrats voted no. And this is their chance, right? But here they are admitting it. They want the health care. For the illegals, by the way, remember that's what Republicans removed. So that's true what Jesse said. Will SNAP benefits go out November 1st? Bottom line, the well has run dry. At this time, there will be no benefits issued November 1st. Time to work. Time to work. I think this is good, America. You see that, America? No more Coca-Cola. No more taquitos. more Coca-Cola chips, Doritos, no more Dorito boys. Doritos is a luxury of the working. You got arms, you got legs. I agree, Uncle Cletus. I see people walking. I see people walking on Snap. What? I see people walking on Snap. Excuse me? Excuse me?
The federal government has issued a stark warning to millions.
The looting begins. Some are
Back here in the
saying.
United States, the largest labor union of federal employees is breaking with Democrats and pushing for an immediate deal to end this government shutdown. Thousands of federal workers will not get their scheduled paychecks this week. The shutdown now may have an even bigger impact starting this Saturday.
Allegedly, just this person posting online just talked to a buddy who works at a local grocery store chain and apparently talking about locking down aisles and doing a bring a list and we'll go get it system. Plus bringing in armed security because they expect the store to be picked dry by looters next week. Claims on the internet.
Caitlin Huey Burns has that part of the story.
Aaron Annis is one of more than 40 million Americans who rely on federal food assistance.
We're just people that just need to eat and have some security in our lives. That's what it's about.
But due to the government shutdown, that help may soon run out. The USDA has declared that there will be no benefits issued beginning this Saturday, November 1st. For Annis, it's a daunting deadline. The Pennsylvania native never thought she'd need SNAP benefits, but 3 bouts of cancer and a double knee replacement left her unable to work.
Having those resources, what does it mean for your life?
Everything. It means everything to me.
What exactly do you think you're going to need to do?
I'll have to ask my...
That's so funny, Carver. Yeah. Oh, sure. They find the white lady to do the interview. They find that white lady who's like, I got cancer in my knees and all that. And this is all of them, folks. By the way, this is that's what you're supposed to get from this. This is all of them. Everybody on Snap is like this.
I'll have to ask my children to help me.
And this person has people to help her, by the way. She's just telling you right there.
And what is...
That's an awful feeling.
How so?
For them to have to help me.
It's just a little food, mama. For them to have to help me. It's like, just stay out of their lives, let them work and all that, but you can ask them for, hey, I'm trying to eat this week. I can't move my legs. And they just, we're used to the SNAP, and it's like, no. Goodbye, mama. A couple tortillas. Some rice, beans, little chuleta.
Even in...
It's a little tough to think about sometimes.
The waterworks.
Turn to her local food pantry.
Tears. Oh, no. I see tears. Okay, let's not do anything to fix the country. My bad. Okay, let's not change anything. Okay, fine.
Shyla Ulrich is CEO of the Central Pennsylvania Food Bank and is expecting demand to increase.
People are scared. It's a moment where people don't know and understand what's about to happen, whether or not they'll get those benefits should the government open back up or when.
These are the scared people. Let me show you the scared people.
I just wanted to come real fast just to make this video, just to make something very, very clear to
These are the scared people.
the white man. Black Americans do not care about your government shutdown, and Black Americans do not care about you taking away our EBT and our government assistance, because Black Americans never depended on the American government to take care of us and feed us, because we never could. We were never able to depend on the government, in spite of what you may say and what you may try to force us to believe.
I don't even know what she's saying here.
So you can sit back and you can mock, you can laugh, and you can think.
See how anger, you can't think straight. You just say things that don't make sense. Okay? And when you don't make sense, then you're stupid, right? And as I say that with like no, it's just this logical connection to this emotional inner world and the things you say. That is like the definition of stupid. No, it has no sense. And when you're angry, you just make no sense. That's not clear to me.
That you're about to starve us to death, but I'm here to let you know that we are going to eat regardless, even if we have to hunt you animals down and roast and eat you. The delectable crackers and
She's deranged, okay? This person's a psycho. Okay. Not even all the EBT people, man, on making the videos and are sounding like this.
we will make
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they're deranged. They're pretty evil. Like, oh, and they're pretty rude. And what's the word? The so-called destitute are quick to say, "You better give me stuff. Your stuff, I deserve it." But they're not sounding like this. This one's deranged. This one's a psycho. She's a psycho.
If we have to trust and believe me, and if it takes this government shutdown for black people to finally come from under the government and understand that we don't need to be paying our taxes into this government, what we really need to be doing is taking care of one another, buying land and growing our own food and building our own nation. If this government shutdown and starvation is what it's going to take, then let the party begin. It's Black Power, baby, and we rise.
Yes, she's just a psycho.
Now, why the fuck I just wake up and I see that they talking about, oh, people not getting they SNAP benefits in the month of November. I know, like, fuck, y'all ain't take my mama food stamps.
I know y'all ain't. So it's like, yeah, there's your fear. Anyways. So that's amazing. November 1st. EBT date. That really, my point is simply this entitlement. Like, that's not a person who's a victim. That's a person who's a terrorist. Your stuff is mine. I deserve your stuff. It's a thief, a criminal. Interesting. We'll monitor the situation there. Look, folks, look at the time we spent.
Or December or any other time that you're not receiving your benefit over the way that people voted. If you have to steal from those who are stealing from you, such as going into Walmart, taking some bread and cheese, putting it in a nice big backpack or purse or diaper bag, I ain't seen nothing. I ain't seen nothing. If you want to steal from those who are stealing from you,
that's crazy.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. And if you're local to me, and if you know me IRL, and you're struggling, let me know. I'll see what
her employer should see this.
What I can do.
And not don't go find her and send it to her. I'm just saying, if I was her employer, I would like to see something like this. I'd like to know who I've employed. That's so crazy. These people in their minds, they see these people saying, "Oh, they're taking away my EBT, my food stamps," and they swear that these are like people in like a wooden hut being oppressed by English people in like very stuffy clothing, and these people are just like in the jungle, like trying to feed themselves. And they're like, hey man, I'll look the other way. And they're like destitute and they're like gaunt. They're gaunt from not eating in weeks. She's like, hey, you come in and steal a little bread, I'll look the other way. That's so messy. It's worse than messy. It's like evil. These people, that's not what these people are. They're fat. These people are fat. These people are fat. They're fat. They're fat. These people are fat. No, I don't want her fired. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm saying, don't you think she's saying I'm going to let them steal? I'm like, wow. If there's one thing as an employer I wish I saw on my feed, it's maybe this. They're fat in America. That's incredible. But what can I say? That's the show, folks. I know I got calls here, and I'm sorry I couldn't get to you. We're here at the end of the show. Call me tomorrow a little earlier, and I will get to all of you. I appreciate you holding there. That's it from me. What can I say? We done did it. The super chats, the topics, the calls, and all that. I had fun. I hope you did. We had ourselves a little show. I'll be back tomorrow for more American Anchor Baby. Hold on. What did I just do? What have I done? Oh. Folks, more American Anchor Baby for tomorrow. Okay? I'll see you then. More Jesse Lee Peterson, The Hake Report, and all that. Take care. See you tomorrow. Peace.